Totally, 100%, 100%. And I see so many people that I work with as a coach, they get frustrated when they're like, this is happening again and again and again. And actually, a big part of like healing for me, or a big part of this just loving life more, loving myself more, is just kind of being okay with it all, being okay when fear comes up, when anxiety comes up, when sadness comes up, when guilt come up. Just being okay, being like, we're humans. We're made for the human experience. We're made to experience a rainbow of emotions. There aren't humans that just experience happiness or just experience joy and then sadness is for some. We experience all of it and just being okay with all of it. Like almost now when I'm sad, I'm like, I say to myself, how can you enjoy this? How can you enjoy this? And I'm like, okay, I work so many jobs. I'm like, okay, you're so sad. You don't want to see people. This is your permission to just be in bed and like look after yourself. It's like, how can you enjoy it? And like, okay, you're angry. Like, okay, great. What's There's this fire inside you. How could we use that for good? Or what's underneath that? What is there? Is there a limiting belief or a sadness or something that needs to be healed? That can get curious and excited about it. And that's, yeah, I think that's part of, it's like when you fall in love with your baby, have a sister who has kids and she's always saying how in love with them she is. You're in love with your baby when they're tantruming and when they're sleeping and when they're giggling and when they're just whatever, being whatever. Like you're in love with them through all of that. And I think a big part of like being in love with life, being in love with yourself, is loving yourself through all of it. When the fear comes up, when the stuff comes up again, like that's the human experience. We'd be so bored if we just had happiness or we just had joy. We would be so bored. And if we knew exactly what was going to come, we would be really bored. But sometimes it's like, oh, I think I've healed that. And then something else comes, or like it comes at me again, but in a different angle, and people can feel so frustrated because suddenly they feel like a failure.